Hey, thanks for listening. If your ears are plugged with earwax, then you wouldn't know that this is Colt Cabana coming up with Chicago, Illinois. And not only am I listening to InYourHeadOnline.com, but I am on their website, and I am making fake posts under the name Skippy McGee. So if you see Skippy McGee, don't think it's me.
All right, we're back.
Yes. I did something that screwed up Colt Cabana's phone. I molested it, and it went to the police, and there was a whole thing. We don't need to get into that. I don't think my lawyers
That's
want
the first time I've been molested by a Barbie before. Usually she's cute and not fake British or whatever you are.
Yeah, he's really from Cleveland.
See?
We've been over
Travis from Cleveland.
All right, well, we got Colt Cabana here. I want to tell everybody, first of all, you got the Chicago Globetrotter DVD coming out.
Yeah, it's actually already out. Thanks for talking. First of all, guys, over to ColtCabana.com or MySpace.com/Colt Cabana, and I got all types of goodies, pictures, headbands, whatever. But most importantly, I got this new DVD out, and it's matches of nothing from America. It's all over the world, Japan, Germany, England, different countries, and you get to see a different aspect of how different countries perceive Colt Cabana. So I recommend picking it up. It's 2 discs. And it's only $15, so what a deal that is, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just about the best cover for a DVD since the Larry Sweeney DVD came out, I think.
Oh, you want to explain it then, Barbie?
It's Colt Cabana in a Globetrotter uniform with a giant afro.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's actually not my body. It's supposed to be the body of a skinny black man. But I happen to be more tanner than this black. What's that? I'm sorry. Sorry for talking.
It's not your body?
What?
It's not your body?
No, it's actually a very skinny black man's body, but like I was saying before I was interrupted by you, Barbie, I was so tan at that moment that I was actually darker than the African American himself, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
You got a call here. Who is this?
Hey, it's Jason once again.
All right, you're on there with Colt Cabana. You got a question?
I have 2, if that's okay.
Sure.
My first one is, Hey, Colt.
Yeah, they're good buddies here.
How's Mom doing?
I want to know, should everyone fear the bunny ears?
Should everybody?
Yes.
Well, the answer to that in-depth question is yes.
Okay, and
what a journalist, Roger.
my other question is, what was the Chris Candido Straw comedy match like between you, Larry Sweeney, and Delirious? Because that was a pretty fun match to watch.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I had a fun time doing it. Those 2 other guys are a bunch of goofballs just like myself. So I was trying to win the match, and I did, and then I lost, and then I won, and then I lost again. For those who didn't see it, I recommend going out and purchasing it on that. I didn't know it's on Larry Sweeney's best of or whatnot. So, yeah, it was a fun time, and it was great to do something like that for Chris Candido, to be in that kind of match. And we all kind of went in with the idea of not going to try to kill or hurt each other. Everyone wanted to have the victory, and everyone wanted to win. But we did want to make light of the situation and make sure not to ruin everyone's day or cripple anybody for that matter, because it was a memory of Chris and all the good times he would have while fighting or wrestling.
Anything else, Jason?
No, thank you.
Well, thanks for calling in.
All right, Jason. Hey, good to hear from you, man. Come over about 7 tomorrow for Stovetop, all right?
Yep.
Yep. We had a caller earlier in the show. He wanted to ask you about something about a pillow in England.
Well, let me tell you something about England. England is not that much different from America. They have pillows and water and food just like we do over here. So, yeah, pillows are over there. It's a commodity. There's nothing.
Well, it was actually Nigel McGuinness wanted to know about this. Maybe that'll shed some light on this pillow.
Yeah, well, Nigel actually didn't have pillows as a kid. He was such a poor little kid in England, and he would sleep on rocks. And that's why he was probably crying about it, and begging people to buy his DVDs or T-shirts, because one day he wants to be able to afford a pillow.
Oh man, well, it's good to have goals in life.
Yeah. not just soccer goals, real goals.
Right, right. We also should talk about Wrestling Society X.
Sure, bud.
Yeah. What do you think about Wrestling Society X, and what do you think about this newcomer, Matt Classic?
Yeah, no, let me tell you something very, let's get this crystal clear. I am not in Wrestling Society X. Yes, I was at the tapings, but I'm known kind of like how Andre the Giant always had a handler. I'm really Matt Classic's handler.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I think Tim White used to handle Andre. So here's the story is he's just so, he doesn't abide by any rules. He doesn't really know what the modern world's kind of like. He just sits, he's really sitting in his own, he had his own dungeon, much like Stu Hart. But he never really trained anybody except me. So he really just sits in his dungeon, day after day doing squat thrusts and leg lifts and whatnot. So, I was there, helping him out, and, he actually enjoyed it. He didn't like a lot of the wrestlers. He thought they were all kind of untrained and stupid looking and didn't understand what was going on and why everybody wore knee pads and whatnot. But after all, he talks to me, reminisces about what a great time it was and what a success he hopes it can be, so he can go in there and strangle and stretch the new kids like he used to back in the day.
So you're like the Kimchi to his Kamala.
Really, kind of. I guess, that was, that was kind of a gimmick, like the handler.
This is
real
shoot.
handler. Yeah, I help, he doesn't really drive a car because, I think like horse and buggies were around when he was doing his thing. So, I drive him around, I help him, get situated in real life situations. So, and, it's good, listen, I saw everything that went down there and I approve of everything that happened.
So how long a process was it getting rid of his fear that cameras might steal his soul? Because there's a lot of promo pics of him up on MTV.com/something or other.
Sure, we didn't really tell him that they were cameras, or we just said they were boxes with mirrors on them, and he kind of went with that. He didn't really know. Wasn't really into mirrors, but we had to sit down and explain some things to him, and I think he appreciated it and he approved. He was kind of impressed by all this crazy technology, boxes and mirrors. So he just went with the flow, Matt said.
That website is actually wsx.mtv.com.
Yeah, go on there and see him wrestle. I think he does a great job. He never loses. He always kicks out before the 3 count, but sometimes they just happen to, the referee makes a horrible decision. You can't blame the referees these days,
Mm-hmm.
What kind of training they do. They never did 115 Hindu squats in 10 minutes before like Matt Classic did. So I recommend it at WSX.MTV.com or MySpace.com/Matt Classic. I actually helped run a MySpace site for him. He told me to go ahead and do it. He really didn't understand what I was talking about, so I just went ahead and had the liberty to do it for him.
Mm-hmm. We got a caller here. Who is this?
This is LTNA fan calling again.
All right. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I got 2 questions for Cabana. You work in
Japan.
Buddy. Hey, buddy. You work in Japan a couple of times. What do you think is the biggest difference between Japan and the United States in terms of wrestling, in terms of the sport of professional wrestling?
Well, for me, to be honest, I went over to Japan a couple of times, mainly for 01 Max, and I had a great time. And to be honest, me personally, I just applied my same game plan, and I don't know if it's because I was a fool, but they went along with the game and they laughed when I made jokes, and they understood it, even though we both completely didn't understand any of each other's languages. But I didn't go over and try to be somebody else, and I was just myself, and they approved of it, and in that matter, it was very much the same as it is anywhere. But I guess you could tell that they appreciate pro wrestling a lot, in such a different aspect. I won't say a lot more because the American fans love pro wrestling; they get rowdy about it. But these guys, they're very quiet and very reserved. And even when you crack a joke, it seems like, they couldn't believe you did it. So it's such a natural reaction to laugh out hysterically. And they just go back to being quiet and observing wrestling. So I'm sure Nigel will tell you the same thing.
They applaud him, even his son as well.
Speak up, man.
No, I'm just saying that the Japanese crowd applaud in unison, and it's like They applaud and then they quiet down. Not at
Right.
the same time. My second question is, do you think that we'll ever see Matt Classic wrestling against the Curryman? That will be my dream match of all time, biggest dream match of all time.
Hey man, you know what? Matt Classic's open for bookings. You know, I told him that he might be wrestling a couple more times. So that's up to any promoters out there that want to see Matt Classic versus Curryman, or Matt Classic versus Colt Cabana, or whoever. You know, it doesn't really matter. He's up to wrestle anybody.
Would he step in versus Protege, or is that like against like his rules?
Well, I've tried to test him down in the Classic Dungeon before. He's torn me apart, man. Very strong. He's got fingers like bananas. It's unbelievable. And I don't mean the substance of bananas. I mean the size and
right, and they're yellow.
The girth of bananas. But I'd try to take him out in the ring. Maybe with the crowd there, something different would happen. But for the most part, he's always stretching me to death. Poor guy.
Man. Is there any like greats that he's gone like Broadways with? Back in the day, is there any like great legends that he's gone Broadway
sure,
with?
Man, I can give you a whole list of them, man. Shooter McPhillips, Stone Fist Iron Johnson, Sugarfoot, Flippy McFarlane, Donnie Two Hands McFistoils, Johnny One Hand Johnson, who was a two-handed wrestler. So there's a whole bunch of them, man.
Man, this is one of those bizarre two-handed wrestlers.
Yeah, they called him one hand, but he wrestled with two hands. I didn't know what was going on, but it was a sight to be seen. I'll tell you that much.
Is he ever offended that they put him under a mask?
Who's that?
Matt Classic.
No, he just doesn't want his identity to be known, because if he was out grocery shopping and somebody saw him, they'd probably be really scared, because they know that he could instantly kill somebody with a sneeze.
Right.
So, yep. So he just wants to keep his identity in secret, and I don't blame him, because people and listen, he's very grotesque looking, and he's not a good-looking man, that man. He actually has half a nose and 3 eyes. The third eye he's got 2 legit eyes. The third eye is kind of like a birth defect, and it's not a real eye, but it kind of looks like it's got an eye socket just in between his left eye and ear.
You shouldn't be telling people this, because they might use that against him, like during a match.
Well, it's not a weakness by any means.
Okay.
That Classic, he could take anybody down. It's not really. It really doesn't matter. He's the true champion of the sport of pro wrestling.
I was wondering if you're the only wrestler he's actually shown his face to.
What's that?
If you're the only wrestler he's actually shown his face to.
Yeah, wrestler. Yes, he was married, and his wife did once his face by accident while making. And I wouldn't even call it love. I would just call it force fucking. But he really. So.
It's a lovely message here for Valentine's Day.
Yep, me and his ex-wife are just about it.
Is he a bacon man or a sausage man, Matt Classic?
Excuse me? I didn't hear that.
Is he a bacon man or a sausage man?
Oh, Matt Classic eats he usually makes the bacon and sausage at one time, throws it out and drinks the grease into a shake that he'll make, he'll concoct. And that is mayonnaise sandwiches and a baker's dozen cigarettes, usually.
He's a real man, basically.
He is a man's man, to be honest.
You got anything else, Sarah, LTNA fan from Portugal?
No, it's getting late here, but I have to go.
Jeez, I'm so excited.
We're long.
We're taking your time up here, buddy. Sorry that we're in your way of life.
Somebody kick this guy
Thanks
off.
for not forgetting about me.
All right, good night, man.
No problem.
I got another caller here. Who is this? Try to sound a little more excited. All right, Ryman, you're on there with Colt Cabana.
Hey, Colt. Hey, Rob. Robin, who?
Ryron.
Ryron?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No one has real names around here.
Okay.
All right, what's your question?
Has as authentic a name as, say, a Matt Classic or a Stone Fist Iron McJohnson.
What about them?
I have a question about the great history of Matt Classic's wrestling career.
Sure, go ahead.
Did he ever challenge Abraham Lincoln for the NWA heavyweight title?
Oh, man, good question.
For the what title, the Illinois? I didn't hear that last part.
The NWA title. You know, Jim Cornette always says you can, like, trace the NWA title back to Abe Lincoln.
Sure. Here's the thing about Matt Classic is I think Abraham Lincoln really wasn't born in Matt Classic's heyday.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lincoln was coming around a little bit later in that period, and he did have a good run, around the circuit and the territory. But Classic was really it was kind of like a younger generation thing, I don't know, it was just two different generations. They never really got to meet up. And here Classic is today, still rocking and rolling. And what's Abraham Lincoln doing these days, right? He
pushing up
probably
daisies.
hung up the boots, probably pretty pathetic. Couldn't get in there with these young kids these days, could he?
That's right. And they think about doing away with the penny. So,
Right. I would.
You got another question, Ryron?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about this submission hold that Colt's been using lately, the Billy Goat's Curse. What's the story behind the name on that?
The Billy Goat's Curse is the curse of the Chicago Cubs. There's a guy who owned a bar, and he brought his Billy Goat into Wrigley Field, and they told him to get out, and he said, well, if I can't bring my goat into Wrigley Field, then the Cubs will be cursed. And since then, they haven't won a championship. That was 1908, I believe. And that's the curse of the Billy Goat, and that's the curse of the Chicago Cubs, my favorite team in the world. And if they can't win championship, I'm not going to let anybody else in pro wrestling win a championship. I'm going to put them in the Billy Goat's curse.
Oh, that's really cool. You're taking out the wrath of Chicago on Pete.
I really am. It's just me being salty that they can't win a championship. So I don't want anybody else to.
Mm-hmm. Were you appointed with the Super Bowl?
You know what? In a couple of ways, I'm obviously a Bears fan from my whole life, but one of my best friends is on the Indianapolis Colts, so he got a ring, and I'm very happy for him. And he gave me a lot of free Nike stuff the other day, and that was good. So I can't complain.
Cool.
Now, if they were playing somebody else besides the Colts, then I'd be pissed. But
yeah,
it was a win-win for me.
Yeah, well, I'm from Cape Cod here in Massachusetts, and I still remember when they played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and that was not pretty.
There you go. Yeah, I you know what? I kind of remember that. And you want to know the weird thing I remember about that is I was at some guy named John's house when I think I was 5. And I could remember playing with the Tito Santana WWF.
The old LJN one?
Yep, they were and all the adults were watching the Super Bowl, and my buddy John had just gotten Tito Santana. That's what was most important.
Did you take off all his paint?
Did I take off what?
All the paint. The paint used to rub off.
No, I think I tried to wrestle with him with the figure, and the kid was kind of pissed. So.
Oh man, he's on the flying burrito. On the Iron Sheik doll.
Oh yeah, everybody was getting burritos.
No,
one of our fans.
Oh, I'm sorry, Barb. Go ahead, my man.
One of our fans who calls himself Vince Russo is gone. He wants to know where can he get himself a Twinkie costume?
I don't know. You know what? That was just the luck of the draw. I found one in upstate New York, and I've been wearing it to church every Sunday, even though I'm Jewish.
Vince Russo is God. He also wants to know, when you're backstage with Matt Classic, how are the musicians backstage?
Let's see. Trying to think of the guys. I think, who are the guys on this week?
Putting us on the spot.
Something with an S.
I know it was Zach Wilds on the first week, and then it was like, who was the second week?
360 Mafia was the second.
Yeah, some the younger unhip, or the younger not as exposed guys were a lot cooler. I don't think anyone was really that big of a dick or anything, but they definitely got there, went in their own little thing, came out and did their performance, went back in their own little room. No one was really hanging out with the wrestlers, or at least trying to hang out with the wrestlers, from what I could see. So whatever, that's their world. If they don't want, they could be who they want to be and hang out with whoever they want. You can't blame them. But for us wrestlers, we were there 12 days. and I was just hanging out with Matt, but we were hanging out with everyone and making new friends, and it was a really great time. So those guys were just in and out for the day. It was just another gig for them.
The guest was Sparta this week.
Sparta, I think Sparta was cool because they were kind of younger, really enjoying themselves. I think they really liked wrestling, so it's most of a lot of the other guys. So I think, if I recall, those guys were kind of cool and were a good time.
Did you and Matt have any run-ins with New Jack's midget pimp?
No, New Jack was there for, Matt wasn't there for the pilot taping, and New Jack wasn't there after that, yeah.
Mm.
Did you have anything else there, Ryman? Is Ryman still with us?
Yeah, just one more. Curious if there's a chance of Matt Classic perhaps coming to the Indies to a Ring of Honor or a PWG to face off against, say, the Curry Man?
Oh, man.
Now, this is an original question.
You're not paying attention to the show, are you?
Since I've never heard this one, yeah, again, Matt Classic's more than happy to take bookings. I'm going to be his agent for a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone wants to put him against Curry Man, he'll be more than happy to wrestle him. If someone wants to put him against Colt Cabana, that's fine too, like I said.
Maybe he'll fight Chris Guy.
Maybe.
Thanks for calling in, Ryman.
Thanks. Good night.
Right. Was he upset at all? Disappointed that he didn't make his match didn't make TV?
Who, Matt?
Yeah.
It's a deep question. I don't think everyone knew that Matt was going to be such a hit.
Mm-hmm.
When he, it was. I think everyone kind of took him for a throwaway character, and they already had set who was on TV and who was on the internet. And I think they were kicking themselves for MTV for not realizing how great Matt was, even though he's been doing it for 113 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I, as his interpreter, understood the situation and made the best of it for him. And he became a hit, and now I think, hopefully season 2, 3, 4,
right.
They'll know what to do with him.
Yeah. The vignette was great stuff that made TV last night, or Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think there's another one in a couple of weeks, which is so much better. And it's a huge inside the rib. I'm not sure if they're going to play it or not. I'm pretty sure they are. Mm-hmm. And I haven't told anybody about it, so it's going to be fun when it comes up.
Man, it's exclusive right here and in your head.
Yeah.
No, it's Tuesday nights at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on MTV.
Yeah, come check it out, guys. It's really cool. It's a whole new fascination of pro wrestling. Nothing like you guys ever seen before. And, WSX isn't trying to compete or beat WWE or nothing. We're our own group, our own people. There's a whole youth generation out there who needs new heroes and new styles of wrestling, and that's what we're there for.
Yeah, do you think that's something important to try to be something completely different that you see on TV?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I know there's other groups on TV right now that are pro wrestling, and it seems like they're trying to be like, they're not really anything different. They're just the same old wrestling groups. So, I think it's very important that, like I said, we're competing. We're not, there's Pizza Hut and Arby's and McDonald's, and they all serve different foods, but they're all, they're all food companies, fast food companies.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're serving something different here.
I type out that other company. Do you follow that other company, TNA?
I watch TNA. Yeah, you know what? I just got the DVR.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to DVR all wrestling and anything that's on wrestling, and now I've even started getting into this UFC stuff a little bit. And I do it because that's my job, and it's my job to keep up with what's hip and what's not hip in pro wrestling.
Right. Do you think Matt Classic could have competed in the UFC back in the day?
Matt Classic could compete in UFC nowadays. I think he is the ultimate shooter, and that's a fact, really. He was a shooter before there was shooters, and I definitely he actually, the Classics and the Gracies were they were in a long, they used to feud against each other, kind of like the Romeos and the Capulets, or whatever. Right. So, the Montagues and the Capulets.
Yeah, classic old man Gracie out there fighting on the beach.
Yeah, exactly. They would come to town and they would say who wants what part of what land, and it used to be wild. He would tell me stories about his grandpa telling him his grandpa telling his grandpa telling his grandpa telling his grandpa stories. So it's some crazy stuff.
Man. You guys get a question from the board?
Rios here, he has a question. He wants to know your thoughts on TNA talent leaving ROH.
Who, Joe?
Yeah, specifically.
It's happened before, and it's going to happen again. And we're, I don't know if you remember when those guys had to leave, Chris and AJ, and now we're doing 1,500 people in a sold-out Manhattan Center, and 1,500 people in Chicago. I think we're going to honor strong. We're not selling, obviously Joe's a great wrestler and did a lot for this company, a lot more than other people did. And but the strong wins, the strong survive, and Ring of Honor has a winning mentality, and they've got it's a great mom and pop company. And, it's going to go on, and it's going to make new stars, and that's what Ring of Honor was all about, was making new stars, and making new stars.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we're going to have a problem. He's going to be desperately missed. But we're going to have, there's going to be main eventers, and there's going to be people that are going to steal the show, and it's just not going to be Joe anymore. And best of luck to him in TNA and whatever else he does, and, I'm definitely going to keep up with him and talk to him, and, Joe's a good friend of mine, so I think, I think it's okay, it sucks, obviously, but I think it's okay, and the same goes for anybody else who might be leaving.
Mm-hmm. So a fan here sent in a question. He wants to know which is a better chant, "This is awesome" or "Colt Cabana"?
Oh, I hate "This is awesome" chant. I just kind of, whenever I start hearing it, I just kind of, so, that's my expression. It's like, yeah. So I'd have to say...
That would be a better chant.
Yeah, man. So obviously hearing my own name, I think, from an ego point of view, helps a lot.
What kind of dirt do you have on it? What kind of dirt do you have on Nigel McGuinness?
What kind of dirt do I have on Nigel?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have dirt, but Nigel's known for carrying around 3-day-old chicken breast in a bag and eating it. And that's all he ever does is we'll get on the road one day and then he'll have the same chicken breast the next day, and then the day after that he's still eating that same chicken breast.
I think the British to eat the aged chicken.
Yeah, I think it's kind of gross, but
I'm actually eating chicken breasts. I'm eating chicken breasts I cooked this morning right now.
Oh, come on,
I'm ashamed of myself.
During the show?
You got a couple days to go until you're up to Nigel.
That's right, you should have been cooking that Monday night. What are you doing?
Right.
Rios, he has a rather strange question that was originated by Old School on our board. What's your favorite move that you've never done?
Definitely a 450.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be able to do a 450, and I almost did one in practice back in the Steel Domain.
Mm-hmm.
I was a huge Too Cold Scorpio fan growing up, especially in high school, and he had the smoothest 450 of all time. So I almost did it in practice. I think I landed on my knee, my shins and my knees, but I never really hit it completely, and I didn't bother afterwards. So,
yeah, that's one.
I wish I could do a 450 splash.
Too much. Money Duck, who scares you the most in wrestling?
Who scares me the most? I don't know.
Probably Mad Classic.
No, because I know, he scared me at first, obviously that intimidation.
Right.
But, I guess Vince McMahon was very intimidating every time I've gone, and done stuff with WWE. I was, not that he scared me, but just, obviously his aura and who he is and what he's done. He's very intimidating, and I don't really get intimidated. I can't say I necessarily was intimidated, but he was intimidating.
Tyler wants to know, why did you change your music?
I didn't change my music, man. Sometimes you just gotta update stuff, and I would always get a lot of slack with Barry Manilow, but I always stuck with him. And my friend Kid Russell's a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
At Facebook.com/Ricky Rage, RICKYRAGE, his nickname. And he put a little twist on Colt Cabana, and everybody, Gabe seemed to like it. I liked it a lot. Obviously Kid Russell liked it. So we went on with a little switcheroo, but it's still the same song with a little twist.
Cool.
Rogue has a question here. Do you aspire to go into any other area of entertainment?
Yeah, good question. I have taken like acting lessons, and I've recently done some comedy stuff, and I intend on doing some stuff here in Chicago. I love comedy, but you know, the way I perceive my comedy is actually done in the ring for me. So wrestling's always been my forte and what I do, but I've always thought about doing some side stuff with comedy, of course.
Rogue also, she's probably our biggest fan of yours on our message board. She want to know if you could give her Rogue.
Okay.
She's a female. She wants to know if you'd could give her a shout out on the show. She couldn't make it live because she's at work.
What's she doing?
She's at work. I'm not sure what she does. She lives in Australia.
Oh, Rogue. Put another shim in the body. That's so original. I made that up. You like that?
Well, it's pretty good stuff.
That was the Colt Cabana original material. Put another shrimp on the barbie.
They don't even call them shrimp. Call them prawns.
Exactly. Well, they can call whatever they want. Listen, it was my material, copyrighted, 2007, Colt Cabana, all rights reserved. Rogue, I love you. I'm coming over to Australia soon. Make sure to have some prawns ready for me.
All right. You know, if there's something you could sell on your website, would definitely be some Matt Classic masks.
Matt Classic, well, it's not my website. It would be Matt's website. He would get all the money for it.
Mm-hmm.
But not that he needs it.
You don't want to fall him out.
Obviously, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
well, he
right.
probably wouldn't know. He doesn't know how to turn on a computer.
Like, well, that's true, but, you know, people talk.
Mm-hmm.
Word gets down to that basement very well. So, listen, Matt Classic merchandise is probably coming sooner than later, so that's about it.
Once money becomes involved, it really stresses the friendship.
I agree. So we're trying to do it together.
What do you think about the 30-minute time slot for the show? Wrestling Society X.
It's better than no time slot. You know what I'm saying? Better than not having the show on the air at all, man.
Right. I was wondering, do you think it's good? Do you think it should be longer? Or maybe it should be shorter?
I think it's great, man. Like, you know, listen, we're not trying to battle against WWE here. We're trying to battle against OC and, you know, Maui Fever and those stupid shows. So, those stupid shows that I constantly watch and have on my DVR, I might say. So, you know, those are 30-minute shows, and I guess the OC's an hour, but I didn't say that. You know, so it fits right in, man. You know, Jackass, BAM's Unholy Union, and WSX. It's like one big lineup.
What was you say, intro?
Oh, it also includes two-a-days, I believe.
No, I'm just saying in general, man. You know, like, obviously I'm a big fan of two-a-days, but you didn't have to tell everybody that. And, no, I'm just saying, you know, like all those, you know, 14 to 24-year-old shows, they're all the same bunch. That's kind of who we're trying to win over, not really. You know. That's kind of who we're competing against.
Have you been happy with you and Matt Classic been happy with the feedback you've gotten for Wrestling Society X?
For Matt himself or for the show?
For the show itself, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everyone who understands what's going on understands it, and, you know, the people who don't, they don't. And, you know, it's pretty blunt what it is. And, I mean, I think the feedback's what, you know, like when I was there, everybody that was saying everything about it was pretty much saying what everyone's saying now. And, it is what it is, really, you know. There's not much to say about it, you know. You can't really, I guess there's not much an argument, you know, whether you like it or not. It's just, if you like it, you like it, and you know why you like it, because of the, you know, the crazy moves and the fun characters and the explosions and whatnot. And if you want to be more of a you know, a purist, and that's probably why you don't like it, but unfortunately you're not going to find anything like, you know, really pure on TV, I guess, except for pay-per-views. So, you know, if you don't like it, come on over and buy some DVDs at ROHWrestling.com.
Exactly.
Well, were you honored to be on the Unified show, the first Ring of Honor show, you know, overseas, first international show?
Yeah, of course. And, you know, and Gabe actually gave me the honor of opening the show, being the first one out of the curtain, grabbing the mic and welcoming everybody to England, and that was actually a real big deal for me, as I have spent many a time over England. I actually moved over there in the summer of 2004 to better my professional wrestling and learn the sport a little better from different perspectives. So, England's my second home, really, and it's great that, our Ring of Honor could go over there and be successful. And, a big thank you, goes out to the Wrestling Channel over there, who has been, while I was over there, they were playing my stuff. I was on TV a lot, and I could see that there was a big, demandment for Ring of Honor. So for everyone to put the steps together and get us over there, it was a great thing, and I was very happy to be on the show.
I get another question from the board, Barbie?
I have a question that came from Nigel McGuinness, who wants to know what's it like being back out on the dating scene.
Who's talking about this? Nigel?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Nigel and I, when you're off the road for so long and you have so many talks, you just get to know people on a more personal level. And Nigel knows that I'm trying to get out there in Chicago and find me 2, 3, 4, 5 wives that I can take home and marry all at the same time.
Question on the board?
Like I'm in Utah.
Just like the intro.
I have a rather original question from Rios off the message board. Who to win in a tag?
Fight Curry Man?
Oh man, you beat me to that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Why are you reading that, buddy?
I don't know.
Well, there's a slight twist.
Why even bother?
Go on, intro. You gotta say it.
Valentine's Day, and there's a lot of young, single, horny women waiting to be picked up, and here I am talking on the phone to you guys.
It's a sausage party
you can't
tonight.
be asking me some questions.
What was the question, intro? Was that really the question?
Yeah, that really was the question, dude.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, he wants to know who'd win in a tag match. Chris Daniels and... I've got to ask now. It's hanging there in the air. Chris Daniels and Colt Cabana versus Curryman and Matt Classic. Who wins there?
The fans win, buddy. The fans.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there.
What guys would you like to see brought in if they do a season 2? That's not there right now.
Who, WSX?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Nigel McGuinness belongs on national TV.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason at all that the other 2 national TV promotions haven't picked him up and put him in the spotlight. I think it's ridiculous. Claudio Castagnoli deserves to be a big star. And there's a whole lot of other guys,
I'd throw Larry Sweeney in there. Yeah.
Larry, well, you can throw him on there. Larry Sweeney, Larry Sweeney. There's a guy named Kingman out of Canada who I actually suggest. He's, nobody even knows about him, but he's 6'9". He works in Brody Steel in England. 6'9", 320 pounds. There's no reason he hasn't been on television, especially when Vince McMahon loves those big guys. I don't understand why he's never gotten a look.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's just millions of guys out there. Adam Pearce, Carl Anderson. The list goes on and on. People that should be on TV. And, who knows? Who knows? If it's successful, maybe there's, 4 hours worth of WSX every day.
Right. What did you think about the set?
I loved it. I loved everything about it. It was completely different. I loved the bunker idea, the Fight Club kind of atmosphere. It wasn't about arenas, and I even love the fact that they paid the crowd to be there. I don't think they used it. To be honest, they paid the crowd and they just let everyone wrestle for them. If I was them, I would have told them to make sure to cheer the baddies or cheer the goodies and boo the baddies, but they really didn't direct the crowd, to be honest. So I enjoyed it a lot, and I think it was very good for what they were going for. And man, I don't have any complaints about WSX, to be honest.
You got another question, Barbie?
Yeah, I've got a question. It's what's it like seeing both Ace Steel and CM Punk now up in New York with WWE?
It's a great thing, man. It's like your 2 kids going on, to play college football and then to play, in the NFL or whatnot. Two guys that I grew up with in the wrestling business. One taught me basically all I needed to know to go out and become a successful wrestler. The other one is who I spent a lot of blood and tears and hours on the road with and whatnot, and it's great. It's just a great feeling. When we started breaking in, we were very isolated away from everybody in pro wrestling. That we didn't have any connections, we didn't know anybody, and we didn't really even know if what we were doing was the right thing in order to become better wrestlers. And 10 years down, 8 years, 10 years down the road from that point, now you can see we were doing the right thing, and we've made friends and gotten to know people, and now that little clique out of Chicago is doing the exact correct thing in order to make it big time. As you can see, with those two, and one in ECW and one under developmental, and myself, heading overseas constantly, and a successful career with Ring of Honor and on MTV, or my buddies on MTV. So, no complaints at all, and I think it's great what they're doing.
Well, everybody know again, you got to check out WSX.mtv.com, and you can see Matt Classic wrestling there on the WSX Extra. And check out the show every Tuesday nights at 10:30 on MTV. Anything you want to tell the fans before I let you go?
No, you know what? Actually, a bunch of plugs.
Okay.
I take part in sports gambling a little bit and system making.
Mm-hmm.
I'm part of a little business that we have. It's an unbelievable system machine, and that you can use to handicap a little bit. It's the bestbetonsports.net. It's the bestbetonsports.net. And also a couple of things help me out. One's my who makes my wrestling gear, and they make great gear at maineventringwear.com, and also blackbunnyproduction.com, who helped me with my DVD. Blackbunnyproduction, productions.com. With an S or not, you figure it out. Please go to my MySpace at Colt Cabana and ColtCabana.com, and if you write something smart, maybe I'll write you back. And I'm gonna go out in Chicago tonight and hang out. And back to work on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So.
If you go on the MySpace, just don't ask him about a match with Matt Classic and Curry, man.
I got a feeling I'm going to get a lot of those, so not a problem.
All right, thanks a lot for coming on. Really appreciate it.
All right, guys, be cool.
This is the official Wes Adams, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.